So I'm happy to present some of the things that we have been doing. This is the main topic that we are going to talk about in this space. I'm going to explain you a bit what we have been working on some of the products that we have created related with the Filecoin ecosystem, and in particular one of the next features that we will release soon on this specific product. And one of the features that we will release soon, and that we are trying to contribute to the ecosystem in a way that is going to be public, and we will allow to solve an issue that we saw with some smart contracts that are really well known. But let me introduce myself. My name is Emmanuel. Emmanuel. I'm from Argentina. I work as an engineer manager at Sondax. Sondax is there you have the links or the users to contact me, to find me on X or at sondax.ch. As I was saying before, I work at Sondax. Sondax is a company that pretty much runs behind the scenes. We work with a lot of chains, mostly in the B2B. But one of we have like different key areas where we work with. Related specifically with Filecoin, we have created Ledger Filecoin app, the wallet integration in the Ledger Live integration. We are node providers. We have working or running full indexing and explorer that is called Beryx. That's what I want to tell you more about. But as you can see here, we have been working with. We are 25 at the company. We have been working with more than 50 chains, and these are mostly the 4 verticals that we have internally, because we really do a lot of things, from ledger apps to protocol engineering directly in the protocol of the chain, actually. From the data infrastructure, as I was saying, we actually run nodes on demand, and we have on-prem infrastructure and on a data center in Zurich. So we run nodes on demand, and we have done like many integrations, mostly on Ledger Live in the Ledger Live wallet, the app that you actually can use to download your app from Ledger, but at the same time you can access your balance. You can actually manage your tokens on that chain. But more specifically, in this, we have done a lot. But I wanted to introduce you to one of the products that we have created, actually, that is called Beryx here. In the Filecoin ecosystem, it's actually both an explorer and at the same time an API. We actually run everything from the nodes to the indexer and to services like a public API that is free, and to an explorer. And these are some of the key features that we have created so far in the explorer that you can find, and that allows you to explore the network. You can see, we are actually real-time streaming for the latest things that happen in the network, from tipsets, transaction-related contract invokes, to dashboards that you can find here, different dashboards that gives you statistics about what is happening on the network. The same here, you can see them. You can see real-time mempool transactions that are coming, how the mempool is actually is working, and how fast everything is being mined. The transactions are being mined. For dev tools, because we don't actually want to make this like just a window to see the chain, what is happening on Filecoin. So we wanted to make this more interactive. So we have many features for developers, like you can interact with the smart contracts from the Explorer. Actually, you can convert addresses. You can use. We have some public RPCs, as in some of the previous was told. We have a faucet. We have different things that can help. Even we have resources that explains how you can deploy a smart contract, how you can interact with it within the Beryx Explorer. You can see information about different contracts. As you can see here, you have an overview, all transactions, even if there are transactions in the mempool for that specific contract that is actually happening live. You can interact with the contract, as we said before. You can connect with MetaMask or Ledger from the Explorer itself, and you can call you can do smart contract calls or views directly to the smart contract. And one of the things that we recently deployed on the Explorer is we are now live streaming events, the new native events that were deployed not so in the past in Filecoin. So you can now, actually subscribe to events that are happening from native and EVM events, native actors and EVM actors. But at the same time, you can list them related to who is the emitter, what type of event is actually was emitted by the ID of on EVM. You have the ID, but native you have the name, but it's like the ID. And the other thing that we just released recently is a new aggregation layer on top of the transaction. That is, we are actually indexing the state of the multisig. So now if you go to an address and it's a multisig, you will be able to see more information about the multisig, like how many transactions, how many proposals, the lock period, the start lock of if there is a lock there. And at the same time, you will be able to see proposals and the state trace, which is how the state of that multisig evolved over time. So from the constructor to how if a signer was changed, added, removed, the number of approvals for that multisig and everything else. I invite you to explore the Beryx Explorer. All this information is actually public and it can be used through the API. It's free. You just need to get a token on the page. But yeah, this way has been long and it's always evolving. Some of the challenges that we are facing, or we are always facing, is Filecoin is always evolving. We have new releases, and we need to keep the indexing and the Explorer always working. The same with, we have calibration that is actually covered there too. We are talking about we are talking about 4 million blocks. In the indexing is about 10 billion rows in a database. So we're talking about a lot of transactions because we are actually displaying everything from internal transactions that are actually happening between actors when you do a call to a native actor. And as we are today, we can index the whole mainnet in about 2 days and calibration in around 6 hours. Those are the numbers right now. We have multiple layers of aggregation of the data, and we don't have only the raw data of the transaction part. So we have contracts, we have multisig, we have different stats about what is happening in the network. We have mempool data in real time with frequent snapshots and deltas to make the broadcast really quick, as quick as possible, and at the same time we have latest activity on the network. Yep. But that is what we have. I wanted to spend some time trying to tell you what is coming, one of the features that we are about to release soon, and that's ERC20 tokens, right? Since we have FEVM, we have Solidity, and that actually allowed to deploy ERC20 tokens. That's something that is really well known in the community. So now that we have ERC20 token, we think that it's valuable to have that data in a way aggregated because transactions are there, but to have a way to actually specifically see information about ERC20 tokens that some of them are really used right now for different projects on the FEVM side. So this is what we today, as far as I know, is one of the explorers that we can find. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We're trying to improve. I saw that. Yeah. I was. Yeah. No, it's okay. It's perfect. I really, I imagine that you were actually Fox Wallet, Phil Fox. I thought it was, yeah. I mean, this is, as far as I know, this is the only one that is actually today listing ERC20 tokens. But the thing is, we want to go further because what we currently have today is if you want to add a new token, you need, there is, I mean, I saw that there is a form to complete to add your token on the page. And I mean, we pretty much will have the same, but we are trying to push a bit further that. So that's, I mean, everything is included in the API, as all the information that we display on the Explorer is at the API level. So you can actually query different endpoints to get this information. We have pretty much the same: token ticker, token address, creation date, decimals, total supply. And if you go to the specific tab, you will see all that information. It's pretty much the same that Firefox has. But we don't want to have another. I mean, and we actually can. I mean, the idea is to contribute. So this the actual procedure that we are actually planning to deploy will allow you to. Let me get 1 minute. So on our current API, we can actually automatically detect that the contract that you are actually querying is an ERC20. And we do that by, I mean, if you go to the code tab, you will see these specific topics. Each one of them, actually, we are actually decoding the bytecode from the chain. And from the bytecode, we can take like pretty reasonable, important information about the contract. One of them are the selectors that are available on that smart contract. And from there, we can infer that what we are actually talking about or what we are actually interacting with is an ERC20 because they have different specific signatures for the functions that the interface actually defines on the ERC20 standard, and the same for events, right? So if this stuff here is actually being decoded on the fly because we recognize it's pretty much an ERC20 token because it implements all the definition and things that are related to an ERC20 token. That could allow us to, okay, you can add your ERC20 token automatically the moment we index the data and we see it's an ERC20 token. But what happened with my icon? I want to have my icon on the Explorer too, and that's something that we don't have on chain. Yep. So that will require you to actually send your, yeah. So this is our idea that we are pretty much ready to deploy soon. We call it, I mean, we have the information. So we have, we know who has deployed the contract on the network. We know who is the owner of the contract. So why don't we create some kind of a smart contract that allows you to say, okay, this is, I want to say this is my IPFS ID of my icon, that today is actually something that we have because we have shared, the things that the ones that we have are in the IPFS world. So why don't we create something that, okay, automatically you can do a call, you will be able to do it from the Beryx Explorer. You will say, okay, this is me because I'm signing the transaction. This is the contract I want to add an icon, an IPFS icon to, and this is the IPFS ID where you will find it on IPFS. But how do we check that it's actually the creator of the ERC20 token who is actually issuing that request? And that's where the Beryx Oracle is coming into play. So what we do is we have that information because we are actually indexing that information on chain on our indexer. So we will analyze, I mean, the smart contract will emit an event. We will hear from that event. We will analyze if the request is valid, if the signer is the creator of the smart contract. We will check if it's a valid IPFS link ID, if you can download the image and if everything is okay. And if everything is okay, we will approve the request. Otherwise, we will deny. And the signer, the person that actually wants to add the icon to the IPFS, to the Explorer, will be able to issue another request, right? This is going to be complemented and is going to be at the same time with the API on the Explorer. So, and the smart contract is public. So once the link is there. Is there? Anyone can actually go and say, okay, for this, do I have the IPFS icon for this smart contract? And this is not actually limited for ERC20 tokens. So we can, in that sense, we can actually share, and there's no need to ask for the IPFS. You just need to upload it, the icon, and issue a request here, and we will validate it. What we have ahead, many things. There's a lot of features that we could actually implement on Beryx. It's actually something that we are actually analyzing, but real-time everything, I don't have much time because I just spent like 15 minutes. But yes, I mean, the same we could do for ERC 2071, 72021, and yep, I mean, visit us on Beryx.io, and thank you for listening to me.